All right, everyone, and welcome to the weekend airport edition. While I wait for my flight board in a little bit of a half hour, the game plan is to try to go through basically everything that I do on the weekend anyway, get this uploaded for you guys on Friday night. Um, just going to apologize for sound and video and that kind of stuff. I think I figured it out. I found a quieter little corner here to try to hide things out. So we're going to go through this. We're going to see how it goes. As always, if you want a much more polished version sent out to you every day, go to statsedtrading.com, sign up for the email list there. You can get access to my watch list and all that stuff completely for free. It just allows me to expand my email list so I can contact you guys if anything cool is happening as well. So Bitcoin, right? We're kind of stuck at the highs from here and here and the lows from here and here. So this is a very important zone, this kind of 25 to 2600. If this let go, look out below. If we bounce from here, it could be pretty good. So if you want to take a shot, right? It's just not something I'm interested in unless we see something on the daily chart. Aussie yen, we've been talking about Aussie yen for a while, holding these highs right here, pulling back now 4 weeks in a row, just kind of chopping around this downtrend line, catching up. So if we can break out of this downtrend line on Aussie yen, maybe we kind of test highs here. So I'm going to be watching that on lower time frames going into next week. I apologize, but you're going to see me kind of go through and um, check this list to remember what it is that I want to talk about. Usually I have this on another monitor, but again, airplane edition. So I was talking about cable here, which is pound dollar, and could be kind of giving up the ghost. It's bounced off this area a few times. We had some great trades off it, closed under this. So may look for some weakness in pound dollar kind of going into next week on this play. Now on gold, right? I've been pointing out this anchored view app from the bottom right here. We held it right here. Maybe last week was just a fake out below, and then we're going to rally above. So I'm watching this right here. Another thing that you could do is either draw an anchored view app right at these highs and see maybe if it gets over that. Oh, it's not the anchored view app. It's under my face. There it is. So the Anchor View app under these highs right here, right? You could kind of call this an Anchored View app pinch. And if we get above that, that's kind of where you could go. Looking at silver here, we talked about this last week when I had this little candle in this area. Massive trade in silver this week. It was a really, really great trade that I was able to get involved in because of this Anchor View app. So I wonder if gold is going to do the same thing there, right? Last thing on the currency side is the yen, so dollar yen. So this would be shorting the yen. Just big round at bottom. We are getting back up to these highs, and we've kind of gone a long way to get there. I don't know if we're going to break through right away. It may actually be a little bit of relief for yen, which, if the dollar starts to weaken, then that would make sense for the other trades we were looking at as well. So let's get into the SPY here and some of the ETFs that I'm looking at. I did a giant kind of tweet thread about all this if you want to get more into that. Um, but right, the main thing on that I want to point out on the SPY is just that little inside day, right? So right at this area or inside week, we're at this inside week. There was a lot of BS about Jackson Hole and the Fed and isn't this crazy and Nvidia earnings and there's a lot of like news related stuff this week. But one of the things that I like to do at the end of the week and the reason I kind of take these big zoom out is because I want to make sure that I'm kind of saying, okay, when I'm intra week uh, and I'm paying attention to everything that's going on in the market, is there something going on uh, that actually matters. And when it came to the SPY and it came to the price, no. Like at the end of the day, we have a small body candle, and in that small body candle, we have right at support. So really nothing happened. That was super interesting. I may go through some of these charts quickly here, but we have XLI pulling back to an important area. This is actually the email that you'll get if you sign up at Stats Trading. So maybe let's just look at this for the rest of the video. It might just be easier to grab this kind of stuff right here. But yeah, XLI is interesting. We have these highs right here. and now we're coming back to act as support in that area. DBC is commodities. This kind of declining wedge in commodities was broken. Now we have about 6 weeks just to make up this little tiny base. So if we can break out of this base, maybe there's another commodity cycle going on here. That's chart of the SPY. I just showed you uranium, a nice breakout in uranium this week. Very, very interesting play. I bought some CCJ that was on the watch list, and I actually just bought some URA as well. So I've got some uranium plays for sure. TLT could be maybe putting in this double bottom in TLT. The risk reward would be wild, right? Buying some around this area with a stop down there, but you're counter trend trading, so you have to be careful. But the risk reward, if we end up, pushing up to 120 or something, could just be insane. XLV getting really, really tight here in XLV as everything just kind of contracts. So I didn't put everything, generally speaking. If you don't get the watch list, generally speaking, you get all of the charts, the stocks that I'm watching going into the next day. Again, I send this email out daily. But today, again, airport, I just kind of put the four stocks that I've added to the list. But I made sure I copied everything. So if you're a Trade Idea subscriber, you can just copy and paste the link below, and you'll see all of the stocks that I'm watching and the areas that I'm watching them at. If you're not a Trade Idea subscriber, go to tradeIdeas.com, and then you can see Stats Edge here saves you 15% off at checkout, and that kind of helps the channel as well. So CELH, I saw someone posting on this one on Twitter, getting really, really tight. You guys know how I love these post earnings gaps, showing that there's positive earnings. This one has a 25% short float, so this could get pretty gnarly. Wingstop with a big rounded top, and then the opposite, right? So if you look at this for CLH, and then you look at this for Wingstop, it's the opposite. So if the market's going to be continued to be weak, after we had this kind of bounce and sell off with Nvidia, I'm going to start watching some short names as well. Be very, very careful swing shorting. Make sure you size appropriately. Stocks can only go to zero, but they can bounce a whole lot. RTX, same kind of thing, right? Gapped under a lot of support on RTX right here, and we're putting in this kind of tight base. So if that breaks, it could be going lower. And then again, flip them again. You can see all these are just kind of inverse of themselves. ADP, big round at bottom, nice little tight earnings gap. Maybe we push higher. Keep everything nice and simple. And again, if you haven't found it and you are subscribed to the email, if you just take this link and then you kind of paste it into Trade Ideas, it will kind of show you exactly how to do it. And it actually shows you right here the actual list. So RTX at this, ADP at this, CLH at this, CH Fang, Match. You can get all of this again, just signing up at the email list right there. So thank you very much. Thanks for putting up with the weekend edition of, or the airport edition of Stats at Trading, and I'll talk to you guys soon.